Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the TeSys training. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this video what we're going to see is how we can communicate the TeSys U or TeSys Ultra with the Modicon M172 over Modbus serial. So let's go to the presentation. So let's talk about how we can communicate the PLC. So in order to communicate to the TeSys Ultra, we need a specific base that allows us to have the communication card. Then we can use the LULC033, which is the communication card that goes into here. So once you have that, you just need to know which are the pins on the RJ45 that you have in order to communicate with the PLC. So that is for the TeSys Ultra part, TeSys U. On the M172, you have two Modbus serial ports, the 1 and the 2. The RS451 is the one that you have as a slave, as an option. So that one we don't need to use it. We need to use the number 2, which is allow us to use master or slave, which in our case we're going to use as master. So if you take a look into the controller, you have the first two are for communications, CAN and Modbus serial. But those two are not the one that we're going to use, because we need to use the CM1 channel 1, which is for the RS452, okay, which is master. Then we just need to use 3 cables to communicate with the TeSys Ultra. So the pin 4 and 5 and G and D. So the 4 is going to be the plus, this need to be used over here. The minus, the 5 is going to be in the minus on the 172, and the GS in the number 8. This is the how you can make the connections. Now, if you don't want to use any traditional cable, you just need to, you can use the Schneider one, and then you probably need to cut one of the ends. It's not that very or I would not recommend, but if you want to spend on this cable, just cut it. It's up to you, but this is one way to do it. If you have multiple TeSys U, what you can do is to use the Modbus serial hub, which is this one, and you also have the possibility to connect on the bottom the cables in case you want it directly over here instead of having this one and cut one end. So for the unit, this one, we have some LEDs. This is the TeSys Ultra communication card that goes over here, okay? So this one will allow us to know the actual status of the unit. If you have a fault, or it has a power supply, or is communicating with the master. Then this is only characteristics, but what I want you to know is that in the back part, almost in the bottom part, over here, this part, the side, the other side, we have some switches, and those switches are the ones that define the slave address of this device, okay? And there are some specific communication parameters that we need to check that I didn't put in this presentation, but I'm going to show you, which are the power rate and the data parity that we need to use. If I'm not wrong, is 19,200 and the even parity, okay? But I'm going to show you that on the configuration that I already have. So this is some of the registers that we can use in order to control the TeSys U. Okay, this is the generic way. So what I'm going to show you is that you have this manual. This is the manual that will allow you to basically see what is inside the TeSys U and make everything if you want to start from scratch. But for the Modicon M172, I have done a function block that probably make the life easier. So let's go to the software. So the first thing that we need to do is to go over here. This one is the one that is a slave, so we don't need to use it. We just need to go to RS45/2. We need to use Modbus master. Okay, by default it's going to be Modbus slave, so we need to change that. Then the baud rate, the default on the TeSys car will be the 19,200, parity event, data bit 8, and stop bit 1. Okay, so if you leave that by default, you should be able to communicate. Then you just need to find which is the slave address. That slave address is found on the communication card. At the bottom, you have some switches over there, and based on the position of the switch, you should be able to know the slave address. So if you put just one up from the bottom to the top, if you take the one on the top, you should be able to see that one is going to be the slave 1. And then it's like a bit, the decimal view, but in bits. Okay, so you need to configure that. And once you make the program, just remember to make the full download, so the communication configuration is also sent to the controller. Then what I have done is this function block, which is fp_TeSysU_control. Basically, it has this sequence. Okay, and send information, send back the information to the unit. And the only thing that we need to do is to use the function block and then use the information that we have. So let's connect to the unit. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we have. So I have used the slave address, which is number 1, which is fine, which is the one I have here connected with my unit. You can see here they have a LED flashing, so it means that I don't have communication with the unit. So I'm going to enable this. Okay, you can see that it's ready, the unit is ready, but there is a warning, and the warning is because I have a communication loss on the unit. You can see here there is also the LED blinking for communication from the Modbus, along with the red one. Probably you cannot see it clearly, but we have that. So this means that I have communication, but there is also a warning on the communication that I had before. So here, just run it to reset. You can see that there is no more the red LED, just the communication, sleeping communication. So if I remove this and then just make a forward, you should be able to hear that the contact. So if the unit is in the run position, we should be able to see on this side that we have the white indication, meaning that it's not doing anything, but as soon as you give the run command, you'll be able to see this indication over here in black. And if there is a fault, we should be able to see that in red. So now what I'm going to do is to make a short circuit. I have a button for that. So I'm going to press this button over here that you're able to see, and this should be in the trip position. There we go. So now that it has changed and moved to the trip position, it goes into this middle state, which is trip, where you are not able to see it, but trust me, it goes to a position between the run or the active and the 0. So if it's in trip, this indication over here, the small one, is going to be in red. And you can see over here the communication I have that is trip. So I'm going to remove this. Now in this case, as it's trip, I need the manual activation of the device because it's trip. We need to make it do it. So I'm going to reset it, make it back again, and it's ready, and it's back. Okay, so strip it. Need to run it. Flip it. Even if I want to put in the run position, I can't, because I need to reset it first. And then back again and strip again because I have the short circuit. I need to put it back here, put it back again, and it's running once again. Okay. As you can see, this is a little bit much easier compared to the M221 one that I need to use the IO scanner. Everything here is just a function block, define the address, the server address, then just know the commands for forward and reverse and reset, and then here you have a lot of indications. So here you have two structures, so it's going to be the state. If there is a warning or something, you have that over here. So if I uncheck this, we probably have the non-communication with device, and I will get a fault communication loss. So as you can see here that I don't have any interaction, the LED is not operational. And then as soon as this goes into timeout, it will give it the indication for less communication. So in the meantime, I'm going to explain to you all this. So I have some of the indication of the warnings and also some of the fault, but we have this is the advanced control unit. We also have the multifunctional, but we have the multifunctional. The multifunctional gives us part of the information, but I'm afraid that is discontinued. And today is the year 2024, so I can say that it's discontinued. And if you go to check our catalogs for this year, you can see that it's no longer available. So that information, even if it's available to read, it's not going to be available for the unit that we have. Okay, but I put everything just in case in the future we have another model. So right now you can see there is the flashing LEDs, the red one. Okay, it's flashing. It means there is a fault. So I'm going to establish communication once again with device, and here you can see I have the warning code 0109, communication loss with the master. Now if I reset this, the warning is gone and it's fine. Here in the measure I have this, but the only information available for the advanced is this, and as I don't have anything, I don't have a motor connected, but this is the only information you should be able to see. Even if I plan the structure to have everything for the future, this is the only information that we have available. So this function block is available in the LTA_ add-on library, and you have this function block along with some function blocks for checking the communication loss, the fault and the warning codes. Okay, you have that information over there, and the structure for the measure and the state. If it's a fault or warning, you have that information over here. Okay, so this is how we can communicate the M172, okay, via Modbus serial with the TeSys Ultra. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.